Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment.
Hello, guys. Welcome once again to another review, the final review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is the part 3 reunion episode. Before we go ahead and talk about the part 3 reunion, how would you rate the whole reunion, then also the final part 3 of the reunion?
Oh my God. I would definitely say, they got a big four. You know what I'm saying?
The
Because
whole reunion in
eh,
general?
yeah, overall for the
Okay.
reunion, I'm gonna have to give them a four. They had a few moments on there, what
Mm.
I guess they needed, but then a lot of it was just reality TV salad,
Mm.
you know,
Mm.
fillers for me. And what about you? How would you rate it?
For me, I would rate the whole reunion as a 3.
Okay.
And last night's episode, yeah, a 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that this reunion did not do anything exceptional for me. Like, we are always anticipating reunions, right? This did not
Right.
do anything. It didn't do anything for me. I wasn't like, if not, I think if not because I was kind of reviewing it, I think I would have stopped watching from. I don't think I would have watched this last part of the reunion. That's just to say,
Mm-hmm.
even though because I was reviewing it, I don't think I would have watched the last part of the reunion. But that's by the way. Let's talk about this part 3 reunion. The first part we started with Porsha and Shamea. We did not talk about this last week because we didn't review it. We know that Porsha and Shamea started having the issues like where they were trying to clash out or talk about the clash they had on the show, and Porsha kind of accusing Shamea of like trying to tarnish her image, trying to spoil her name, and trying to gang up against her, no, she accused Shamia of ganging up with Shamia, Brit, and Kelly coming together to try to bring um Porsha down on this new season of the Real Housewives. There was a lot of accusation being thrown at Shamia, and for me, I felt like Shamia did not do a good enough job to kind of, as a viewer, me watching being like, okay, yes, Shamia is not guilty. I didn't watch Shamia try to explain herself and felt like, okay, Shamia is not guilty. She was just, and Portia is kind of, um, how would I put it? Portia is just trying to throw water where there is none. I just felt like Shamia didn't do a good enough job for me to correct the statement. I felt after the whole issue from last week's episode, I felt like I was more on Portia's side than Shamia's side. I don't know if you had a different opinion. Considering from the last week's, they started the fight from last week. Haven't talked about what happened in this episode, but I'm just saying from last week's issues when they were talking about it. Did you feel like you supported more of Portia, or you sided more of Portia, or you sided more of Shemia?
Before I get directly into the question, what I did observe is Shamia seems like she is like a people pleaser. You know what I'm saying? She
Mm,
seems like she's not gonna like go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? If you put
mm,
Portia and Shamia together, the strongest personality to me is Portia.
yeah.
Where Shamia's like, okay, I just want to be your friend. I just want us to be together. You know,
Mm,
it just seems like she's basically the person who tries to keep the peace. Now, what I want to say, you said, now whose side would I really be on? I think Shamia should have, if that's your girl, you know what I'm saying? First off, you got troll one and troll two. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Of course, they're your friends, but they're not your homegirl's friends.
yeah.
Anybody talking about my partner, my homegirl, uh, believe me, vocally, I'ma slam you. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get her on the phone so you can say what you was just
What you
saying.
said, yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I think she did a very poor job at defending her homegirl, to her new little friends, that
Mm-hmm.
was coming newly on the show. I don't know how long they've been friends before the
And
show.
the thing is, sorry for cutting short. A lot of people might feel like it's bad to have new friends. It's not bad to have new
No, of
friends.
course not. Of
It's
course
not
not.
a bad thing to have new friends. It's not a bad thing to make new friends. The only bad thing is if your new friends start talking bad about or trying to gang up against or for your old friend, it now becomes an issue if you cannot stand up for that friend. That means it's either you're not being sincere to your old friend, or I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah. She should have did a better job. You know what I'm saying? Now that I can understand what Portia was in her feelings. You know what I'm saying? It kind of was stand backish. I mean, who wouldn't be? You know what I'm saying? Then Portia, I feel like should have confronted her like right after it happened. When it happened, like, hey, wait, hold up. You got these bitches talking about me. You're sitting here listening to it, and all you can say is ask her yourself, what kind of friend are you? You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
Portia should have spoke up sooner to Shamia and kind of like jammed her up in front of, her new friends and just asked her, like, why are you sitting there listening to this shit and kikiing with them and they talking bad about me, you know?
Exactly.
But I mean,
I feel.
those
Mm-hmm.
Kelly and Brittany, at the beginning were refreshing to the show. But then they just turned out to be like little backstabbers and chatterboxes. And hey, we're going to gang up the two of us on this one person. You know what I'm saying? It was just starting to be messy, you know? And it's like, damn, is that what housewives do? You know what I'm saying? It kind of makes you wonder, but damn, housewives out here. I haven't really met those type, but hey, it's reality.
Yeah. I Now this episode continued with that fight, right? And they started bringing in their mothers. For me, I felt like the mothers, when it came to that, I did not feel that their mothers should have been brought into their beef. I don't think if you guys can be friends after what individual feelings your moms had with each other, why is it now that it is now an issue? It's that part I did not understand, because according to Portia's story about her mom and Shemia's mom, the business stuff, this thing must have happened for a while, right?
Right.
And you guys have been friends even through that. So why is now that an issue? So um it gives me a feeling like I do not feel like Shamia and Porsha were supposed to be friends.
Mm,
I don't think they're supposed to be friends because if that should be something, it's like I don't know how to explain it. When you fight, you and your friend fight, then you now start reminding each other of secrets that you've told each other, of things that you've done that nobody knows, but you told each other, and now you start exposing it. That's how this is sounding, and I don't like it. It's giving childishness. Um, so for them bringing in the mothers of, and I think it's Portia that brought it up. For Portia bringing up their mother's beef because that's their mother's beef. That's not you guys' beef.
right,
You do not have that problem. Then, and at the end of the day, if you felt like your mother's beef with Shemia's mother's beef was too much, you shouldn't have been friends with her at the first place to avoid issues. You could, you even if you say, okay, fine, you know, I also do that. I do not hate on people because other people hate on them, right?
right.
I do not dislike people because other people dislike them. I always tend to want to judge on my own. I
Hmm.
always want to know what is going on firstly. So if I then come in and find out, okay, what I've been told is exactly who you are, then I'll be like, you know what, I'm checking out. But I don't judge you because of what people said. And I feel like if you guys knew that your moms are not in a good place and you guys being in a relationship or a friendship was gonna be bad, then you guys shouldn't have started a friendship at all. Then coming here now talking about your mother's beef, I feel like it was even disrespectful to the mothers because it's none of you guys' business. It's none of you guys' concern. Let the mothers deal with their beef themselves. Whatever the beef they have, let them deal with it themselves. You know, that part I did not like. Portia bringing it up, and her and Shamia arguing over it. I felt like it wasn't making sense at all. But what did you feel about them bringing the mothers into the conversation?
Well, first off, I was like, okay, like Portia's mom is probably like my age, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, dang, uh, that must have been a while ago because it don't look like she look like she's at the retirement age, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it that had to been what, about 20 or so years ago. Like,
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? And if you guys have been friends through it all of the mother beef, you know, then you guys beat the odds. You
Yeah,
know, like why bring up old shit? You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? It's like showing your dirty draws to everybody. Like why
Mm-hmm.
do that? Why do that? You know? And as you said,
Yeah.
that's that's their business. And then another thing I did notice in the show that Portia's mom said something about Shamia. Oh, well, her mother or
Yeah. That
something. You gotta
episode, yeah.
watch the mother and the daughter. That
Watch, yeah, yeah,
they're the
yeah,
same. And you know what I'm saying. So planting that seed. You know what I'm saying.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then Shamia. Like not defending her friend. Going back telling about what's in the
Yeah.
text. Like you
Mm.
just your slip is showing, boo. Pull it up.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
You know,
saying?
as much as I did not like Portia's mom saying that,
Right,
but I did understand because if somebody that okay, my mom is not close, my okay, let's say my family is not close to this family, they don't like
right,
this family. I clearly know that they hate this family, right?
right,
But I'm friends with somebody from that family,
right,
right? If one day that friend that I made in that family starts slipping up, start behaving in a certain way, I'm pretty sure that my mom or my family member will come and sit with me. I'm like, yeah, we told you about that. I already say that if their family can be like this, that means that person too will be like that. It's something that every one of us would say. if at one time in our life we have warned somebody of not being close to somebody, and at the end of the day, the person comes to you in and complain about how that person's behavior is, of course you're gonna want to be like, yeah, I told you so, right?
Right.
So as much as I say, okay, I did not like Portia's mom saying that, but I also feel like if it happens to almost like 90, 100% of us, at least 90% of us will say the same thing Portia's mom said to
Well,
about it.
you know,
Yeah,
of,
go
of
on.
course, you, of course, you're gonna warn your kid. You know what I'm saying? You warn your kid when you feel danger might be lurking, you know, or a betrayal of friendship. You know, you kind of say, "Hey, watch your back." You know, I know what you're doing. I see that, you know, you're befriending this person. But just watch your back. You know,
Uh, yeah.
and so maybe Portia's the type of person that, you know, hey, she genuinely liked Shamia, no matter what the
Mm-hmm.
parents were going through, the mothers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's seen a
Yeah.
friendship that she thought would last in
Yeah.
Shamia. You know, so maybe
Mm,
she was the type of person that, you know, just said, "Hey, I, I'm gonna go what my heart says," but you know, somewhere down the line, I hope I don't have to make mental notes. Because
yeah.
once you start making too many mental notes, you weigh the cons, you know,
Mm,
and the pros always supposed to win over the cons,
yeah.
you know. So
Well,
maybe she's that type of person. I don't know.
so I with the way they spoke, do you think that Shemia and Portia's friendship is done?
Oh, you can tell that they both still deeply care for each other and love each other. You know, I think if they could get beyond their mother's relationship and how Portia kind of feels betrayed by Shamia, you know, during this past season,
Mm,
you know, and then they can just, you know, keep their mother's shit out of their shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that they'll be okay.
mm,
You know, it may not be the same and, you know, as strong
yes.
as it was. That's
Yeah.
gonna take time. That seriously, that's gonna take time.
Mm, okay.
How do you
Well,
feel?
for me, I feel like they might just come to a conclusion to just be cordial because they still have to work together.
Mm,
Um, so I feel like they might just be like, you know what, let's be cordial. I don't think there might be any coming back for their friendship because a lot has been done. They've been having a lot of back and forth on social media. I'm not talking. My own perspective is not only based on the show,
right,
right?
right,
My
right.
perspective is also based on what they post on social media, what's being
Okay,
said on social media. You know,
okay.
sometimes it's what you feel that you take your phone and type on your social media accounts, right?
Hmm.
So I am basing it off from social media stuff and also what is being shown on the show. So I just feel like, yeah, I think that they would just be cordial, but are they going to go back to how they were? No, I don't see that
Hmm.
happening.
Right.
I don't see that happening. And we saw Shemia being asked about the why did she take Drew? Why did she take Portia to see Ralph if they were complaining of Drew having scenes with Dennis?
Right.
And her response was kind of funny to me because she was like, you know what, they were calling me a lap dog then I decided to behave like a lap dog. I was like, really? Is that a response? What is really? They were calling me a lapdog, then I decided to really act like a lapdog. Am I supposed to give you a round of applause? Yay! Portia said something very, very, very amusing. You were called a lap dog, then you decided to behave like a lap dog, right?
Right.
That wasn't funny to me. I don't know whether she was thinking it was going to land well, or people were going to view it in a very comical way, but it wasn't at all. And it's and this is where I always say, and I'll keep on saying, that Shamia is one of the disappointment of this season, because I kind of loved Shamia from episode 1 and episode 2. After episode 1 and episode 2, my love for Shamia was lost. I thought she was going to show us the glamorous life of being married to a rich man, living a rich life, really being a rich housewife of Atlanta. I thought that that was what she was going to show us. But no, that was not what they showed us. The show, she literally disappointed me with her attitude. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. I like Shamia, and right now, and I'm saying this because I know a lot of people say they don't like her. For me, I'm part of those people that do not like her. Oh, anyways, that's just it. How did you feel about her response to the Drew stuff?
I think basically not only was it not really comical, um, I feel that she said it to kind of downplay what Drew had said. Because right now at this point, I feel like she's not really trying to bring heat to herself. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Because, you know,
mm,
Portia was kind of lighting her up on the stage, you know what I'm saying? And
mm,
over talking her, you know what I'm saying? And,
yeah.
Portia is known to fight,
Mm,
from on the reunions. You remember her in Kenya? Come on,
yeah.
you know. So, and she knows because she was there. That she's been there a couple of times when Portia done popped off, you know.
Mm,
So she knows Portia, you know. So I think she was just trying to get the flames off of her, you know. So I think that's why she made that little jokey joke. Um, and what was your other question?
did I ask some? No, I was just personally talking about the fact that I didn't like Shamia again after the episode 2 of this
Okay.
season.
Well, as far as Shamia, I mean, you know, I like Shamia. I, I,
Yeah.
I think she's probably good for the show, but Shamia, excuse me, needs to pick her friends more wisely. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm,
watch who you hang out with. Watch who you keep key with. And for the sake of me, like, if you got another chick talking about another chick who ain't there, don't entertain the conversation because that puts you in the
mm-hmm,
middle of it. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? Don't say nothing to me that you're not gonna say to that person. Matter of fact, say
Yeah,
it to them first.
exactly.
Say it to them first. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one for gossip. I you know, I don't like gossip.
Yeah.
It never does anybody any good.
Um. Anyways, moving forward in the episode, we got to see, this is the part that I did not like at all. Drew, Ralph, Dennis. Like, I was like, what the fuck am I listening? Sorry. Oh, what am I listening to all this for? Now, we had Drew been asked about Ralph and the situation. And, they talked about a particular video that was circulating the social media. I did watch that video. I think I posted it on my Facebook. I was like, I'm surprised. Is this how cool they were? Something like that. Now, she kind of explained and being like, they were trying to like do the good kid co-parenting stuff. Why? Because his caption was really confusing at that time. Because I too was like, Drew. one time I really was like, Drew will be deceiving us that everything is bad at home, but look at how what. So his caption was really deceptive. She trying, she explaining how it went and what was going through their mind when they did that video. Now put everything in perspective, and you know what? You can never trust Ralph. Anyway, you can never trust Ralph anyway. But the way they were going at it, man, I don't know whether Ralph gets in the skin of Drew. But man, I think he has her kryptonite because he just, I don't know, he rallies arouse her up. Like she's always agitated whenever. I think she needs to first, for me, seeing her just getting agitated anytime he's talking, I feel like on her own she needs to heal personally. Firstly, or to be able to deal with Ralph, and when Ralph is talking, for her to be able to, you know when to just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna ignore your bullshit, I'm just gonna ignore your nonsense, and just, anything you want to say it. I think this is how many years now since the divorce has been going on. I feel like she should have been able to heal herself to the extent where she'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna ignore your bullshit, and not allowing Drew, no, sorry, not Drew, not allowing Ralph gets her. He's always getting her. He's always making her look like this person that is just too angry with him. Like, I feel like she should have moved on by now. But you know what? I've never been divorced. I don't think I really have say. I don't really know how it is, but I just feel like it gets to a time where you just be like, you know what? I'm not gonna allow your words annoy me, because I feel like sometimes when people know that their words can get to you, their actions brings out a reaction from you, they tend to do it a lot to get something from you, to get a reaction for you. I know that because after I lost my mom, I was going through a court case, and the person knew that saying something to me, saying some words to me, could get me, like the person was using it against me over and over again, until I realized, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna allow you or your words get to me again. And I went to therapy. I did what I needed to do to, like, overcome it. And the next time the
Mhm.
person saw me, no matter how the person tried, said, did anything they wanted to do, I was just as calm as I could be. And the reverse was the case, because at the end of the day, instead of me getting pissed off like I used to get pissed off, they would not be like, oh, she's just somebody that likes, she gets along quickly, she's hot tempered, blah 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 blah. Instead of it, the reverse was the case, because at the end of the day, he was getting pissed off because I wasn't giving him the reaction he wanted.
Mm.
So I feel like um she should also do that to herself, for herself too, because the way they were going at it, I don't know. I just found it upsetting. I don't know. How did you feel when you saw Ralph and Drew going at it in this video?
Oh my goodness, those two.
Really,
Um,
those two.
yeah, I mean, I seen they've been going through their little case for the divorce and everything. You know, uh, it's crazy how I guess that's the law out there, where you have to still stay in the marital home until divorce is final to find out who gets what and what happens. Um, see, that's why I say, look, now I've been through a divorce. I've said it before. You
Mhm.
know, I gave the car, the boat, and the house. I didn't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because material things, it doesn't mean anything to me. My peace of mind, and my time on this earth is what's valuable to me.
Yeah.
Things come and go. Things, you buy things, they break. You buy clothes, they get outdated. Shoes get worn, purses get torn. And you know what I'm saying? So everything's material. You're not taking it when you leave this earth. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? So that would have been one of the shortest divorces in history because I'd have been like, you know what? It's all yours. I'm out. Just give me my divorce. I'm out. you know, but, I think looking at the little video that they showed, like that's some love there because I'm not going to be going through no divorce from you and you're going to feed me out of your fingers. Nah, that ain't happening. So it kind of makes me think, are they doing this to get towards the end and be like, no, we're going to stay together. We love each other. Like, is this a storyline? Is this a
Mm.
storyline? Or like, what the hell y'all doing? Because tell me, if you're divorcing somebody and, somebody's saying infidelity and saying nasty things to you and, giving you the silent treatment, are you going to be eating something out of their fingers?
Yeah.
I'm not. Look, over is over.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh.
Over is
We're
final for
done.
you.
We're done.
But over is final for me. The end. My story, my pen, I'm writing it, not you. So I just think they're playing games because ain't no way, ain't no way, ain't no way.
Yeah. Now, we saw Portia being questioned about Drew concerning the text message between her and Dennis, and Dennis also being questioned about the text message. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie, I still didn't get anything from that whole chat. One person is saying, I saw the message. Another person is saying, that's not how it was. That's not how we meant it. I'm not gonna lie. Them talking about the text message, I still didn't get a resolute answer. I still didn't understand anything. I don't know whether you had a different perspective from me, but for me, watching, I didn't still get anything from it.
No, it's really exhausting between those four. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm,
like I said, I already think that Drew and what's his name? Her husband,
Ralph. Ralph.
Ralph are, like trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes, talking about, oh, we're not in love, we're gonna get a divorce, and then they're talking about, I read the text messages and we were in love and this is sad. Y'all still in love. Quit playing me. As far as Portia and Dennis, like y'all still in love. You know, I, Portia is just, you know, she's career driven, and whoever has the money is where the career is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. This is just how I see it. You know, and Dennis is, hey, he got his thing going, but Portia is his number one. He'll talk to her and talk to her and talk to her, but Portia's his number one. That's his girl. So he ain't gonna stray too far away from Portia. You see,
Mm,
every time she cries about something or something, he calms his ass down and he be like, "Okay, Portia, all right." You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they still have an attraction towards each other.
Yeah. Especially when it was asked, will you, now that she's divorced, will you be chasing her? And he responded. I thought she was gonna be like, oh, be like, oh, don't say that, but she smiled. So who knows? Maybe, maybe. I won't say anything from that. Maybe. Now we got Charles to come up on the stage. Now I loved Charles. He's Charles is very unfiltered. Like, is that kind. I think I'll be scared of Charles talking because that guy can yap. And you know what? I literally would also not be like I also not like to be married to someone like Charles because that guy can say and unsay. He doesn't give a fuck about any person.
Well,
He doesn't care.
I, I kind of look at Charles like Charles is, you know, he's a man's man, and he's gonna say exactly what's on his mind, you know, and like he had to get a few of the women straight because there's a difference between seeing somebody or being in the same room as somebody
Mm,
doesn't mean that you know them. You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
a lot of people have seen me, but do they know me? No.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a walking billboard,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I'm not the same every time,
Mm.
you know. So yeah, you know, I I kind of get where he's coming from.
Well, but I love the way. If there was one thing I love about it is the way he checked Phaedra.
Oh yeah.
Mm. Oh, that was phenomenal. I was like, yeah, Charles, check her, because she be doing too much. She be thinking she's the queen. Queen of what?
Queen of mess. You know, she's messy. That was her whole reason to come back. Is, you know, the show she's still the queen of mess. She's gonna get it started, you know. She's outside with it, you know. But
Mm,
I don't think Charles is, she wants to make an enemy out of Charles. You know, don't go after his boo, which is Angela, and you won't make an enemy out of him. You know, I mean, other than that, he's just pretty kicked back. You know, he doesn't seem to like be an affectionate person.
mm.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
he will always be
He
there for his wife.
yeah, he doesn't seem like he's the type that's gonna act because the camera's in front of him. He's gonna remain
Mm,
how he's always been, chilled, laid back,
mm,
mean what he say, do what he say. You know, um, and what I mean by that, what he says he does, not to Angela or anything, but you know, he seemed like he's a man of his word.
mm.
You know, so yeah, he put Phaedra in her place and let her know that hey, yeah, you've probably seen me, but you don't know me.
Mm. Well, for me, I really love the way he checked Fedra. Like, it was so interesting to watch. Fedra Fedra didn't know what it is. She was speechless. She was like, I was like, Fedra, Fedra, the Fedra that I know,
No comebacks, huh?
the Fedra like she had no, I was like, does this guy have something on her?
Mm,
Because the way Phaedra was shaking, I have never seen this Phaedra before.
no, I mean, you know, I mean, this is a woman with many degrees. You know what I'm saying? So she understood what he was saying. You know, he shut her down.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't. Basically, he was saying, don't come over here with that messy shit and be trying to start shit between me and my wife. Like, where are y'all's husbands? Yeah, he killed me.
Yeah. I kind of liked it. I think that was the only highlight for me in the episode. The fact
Yeah,
that Charles checked Phaedra and also checked the other housewife because they were continuously trying to talk about him and being
right.
like, you know what, at least I was here. Which is the
Secret wife,
truth.
secret wife,
Which is
and a
the
hid.
truth.
Yeah, well, secret wife and a hidden baby.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, those are smear campaigns for a marriage.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? That'll get any wife hot. You know,
mm,
the lights
yeah.
won't be off in the bedroom; they'll be on, and we'll be in deep
Yeah.
conversation. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's some messy shit there. You know, Phaedra, 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 Fay Fay. She getting a little too old for that.
Ah,
But yeah, she
not be
under
too old.
yeah, she is. You know, but Charles kind of like let her know, like, don't do that shit over here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Do that with any other housewife, but this one, hey, her dude don't play about her. I'll crash out on you.
yeah. Um, but that was nice to watch. That was really nice to watch. But I was surprised that it was only him that showed up for the husbands. I
Well, who else
apart from
got a
the
husband? Who else had a husband?
um uh
Oh, well, Shamia's husband. I
Shamia's
understand. Maybe,
husband, but I knew that
maybe he
Shamia's husband
was.
was not gonna come because Shamia's husband had already said from the beginning that he didn't want to be on the show. So I knew
Right.
that.
Right. You
Uh,
know, and somebody got to watch the baby. You can't trust everybody.
but anyways, that at the end of the day, there was no really remarkable moment of this episode. That's why I said I gave it a one because
Hmm.
I there was nothing like oh wow moment. Oh my god, I didn't expect this to happen. It was just like so bland. The fight I already saw it play out on social media. So I'm just like, you know what, this reunion was zero. In short, it's becoming a zero, but I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the season. I did not like Phaedra coming back. I wish they could leave her off and don't put her again for the next season. I also would love coming Kenya to come back so as for her to give her story about everything. Um, yeah, that's
Uh,
all.
okay, so let me ask you this question: Did
Yeah.
Drew give Kenya information regarding Brittany?
Kenya said on her YouTube because Kenya is on YouTube. Kenya
Okay,
said on her YouTube that no, nobody gave it to her.
okay,
It was not. No, they gave it to her, but it was not Drew. Sorry.
okay. Then what the heck was Portia talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, these women, these girls. Mm. That's how shit gets started.
Uh, but anyways, is there any other moment that happened in the season in the episode that we forgot?
No, nothing I can think of offhand.
Mm, that's how memorable the reunion was.
Oh,
Oh
shoot.
my god.
Well, hopefully they'll do better next season.
Hopefully, hopefully, I'm praying for that.
Okay, so overall, for the whole season and the reunion, what are you
Um,
giving it?
a five.
A five. Okay. For the whole season and the reunions, um, I'm gonna still hold that. They still holding that four. You know what I'm saying? And that's only because you know, Charles, you know, and the messiness of the new additions. Because they bought some messy shit. I mean, they were just double teaming, just like every time you see them two together, it was like bad and badder.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they fed off each other. So uh, and they were the only exciting part of everything. All the little shit they was starting.
Mm.
And Charles. So they're gonna have to hold that for.
Mm-hmm. Well, the truth is that I wish them well in every endeavors that and everything they want to put their hands in.
Most definitely.
I wish all of them well. As much as I did not enjoy the series or I did not enjoy the season, doesn't make them less of a human being. And but at the end of the day, it is what it is. At the end of the day. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us on today's final review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Make sure don't feel like because we're no longer doing reunion the RHOA, you stop coming to watch us. We'll still be talking about other shows, and from next week we'll be talking about the Love and Marriage Hungry. So stay tuned for more recaps and review. Don't forget to like um this video, guys. Very, very much appreciated. Like on this video, comment on the comment section your thoughts and opinion. We'll see you guys same time. Not exactly the same time, but we'll see you guys next week. Have a nice day, guys.
Bye.